So as our ongoing series of real people, real advice, real marketing, and for Niagara College, professional marketing principles of marketing 1301. Here's another opportunity for not only the students, but for a number of other people to kind of have a chance to connect with some people who are in different kinds of industries. And what I always want to set up with these speaker videos is having people from different backgrounds, different industries, because marketing people aren't always just in marketing firms. There's all kinds of companies out there that use marketing. And Kyle McCumber is on with us today. He's a friend of mine. I've known Kyle for a number of years. I've worked with him, but he also is part of one of my longest standing, just my most valuable relationships I've ever had in business. And it's FBT Inc. And it was formerly FB Tool and Die, and they've recently changed to FBT Inc. And Kyle represents the world of CNC work, machining, and you go through the shop, and it's not your typical machine shop like this. Everything's clean. There's just videos on LinkedIn now on brand new 5-axis machines, and these things are like these things are about as valuable as my house. And you watch what they do, and it's all now precision, and it's machining, and FBT has changed over the years, but the relationships still stay the same. And FBT is a multi-generational company, and Kyle's going to explain about it in a moment. But there's still value in having those relationships. And Kyle runs the sales department at FBT. So this is going to be a conversation about not only marketing, but also its integration with sales and how it often works together. And I've seen a lot of organizations where sales competes with marketing, right? Sales, if only marketing could get us more stuff. And it becomes it's conflictual, but here at FBT, they work together. So welcome, Kyle, and thanks for taking time. I know how busy you guys are. Like, you're pretty busy. Just to take time out and spend with me is very valuable. But Kyle, tell me a bit about you and your background, and a little bit about what FBT does.
Sure. Thanks for having me, Neil. Yeah, I've been with FBT since 2011, and I've known about FBT my entire life. It's been a local company here in St. Catharines. My father's worked there, over 40 years.
Yeah.
But growing up, I really didn't have the idea that I'd work at FBT. I actually went away to University to Waterloo, studied kinesiology, got my degree, moved back home, and then was trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And I got a job pushing a broom in the shop, and then I was able to kind of work my way along. Worked on some CNC machines from my first year and a bit there. Progressed into our inspection lab, started programming CMMs, inspecting, working within the lab. Did that for maybe 3 or 4 years, and then 2016, so 6 years ago, I transferred into the sales department. At FBT, and it's been great since. So yeah, the company's been around for since 1945, so it has a huge history. Employs nearly 100 people, and it has just been growing. So we've had great last number of years, continuously growing. And that's just kind of like a high view of myself and the company.
Wow. And then now your world in sales is, you and I have worked together, and we've all agreed that the sales cycle, so the length of the sales cycle, is longer than ever before.
Yes.
More choices. But earlier you were telling me about still the importance of maintaining those relationships and being human. And, you have competitors, we all have competitors who are always actively looking for ways to, kind of penetrate your market share, and you want to keep your market share. Kyle, what's what's the sales environment like for you, and how do you see it relating to and correlating with marketing?
So yeah, as you said earlier, like marketing and sales for us, they work kind of hand in hand.
Yeah.
We're not butting heads with each other. Yeah, so our marketing, whether it's posting on LinkedIn, sending out, communication to customers in regards to, acquiring new machines, uh, maybe a new certification that we have, uh, that regular communication kind of markets the business and it helps drive additional sales. And it is a long sales cycle for sure. But it does seem that it could potentially be shrinking a bit. There seems to be a bit of urgency with customers, with the delays due to the pandemic and things like that.
Right.
A lot of customers are looking to diversify their vendor pool. Have more vendors. But we're also noticing there's a lot of need right now. So we're fortunate to be busy. So it's tough to satisfy all of our customers. People want things quickly, and it takes a long time to develop these relationships. So we want to be honest with these customers,
Yeah.
treat them with respect, so they value the service that we provide, and we're just trying to be as open and honest as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the importance of maintaining that FBT brand? Because you've been around since 1945. So let's be honest, a lot of people know who you are. And with the Canadian Tooling Manufacturing Association, you're a longstanding member, you're a member of respect. So I think the market knows about you. But I don't think we can rest on our previous reputation. I think you're dealing with different kinds of people. You're not just dealing with machinists, you're dealing with engineers, procurement managers, purchasing managers. So how many kinds of relationships are you working with in kind of the sales role? Like what kinds of people?
So yeah, I get to deal with all sorts of different people in different companies. So yeah, as you mentioned, buyers, procurement managers, engineers. So there's a big technical aspect of the sales that we provide. So being able to provide that support and answering technical questions to an engineer,
Yeah.
maybe reviewing any concerns for quality with a quality manager. These are all things that we want to provide. And yeah, that's value that we give to the customer. That maybe not everybody does, and that's part of that FBT brand and that heritage. And it's something that you develop a reputation, it begins to precede you, and that it's almost like marketing. It's you can maybe reach out to somebody and they're familiar with your company before you even introduce it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in your role, Kyle, what are some marketing strategies that you think are really important for the business?
So in my role, I think that reaching out to people on LinkedIn is pretty important. It's easy to strike up a dialogue. We have our company page is becoming more and more active and getting more and more engagement, which is great.
Yeah.
So those are all really important. We recently acquired a nice big digital sign out front of the shop, which showcases some of the things that we do within FBT. So, as you mentioned, our company's been in Niagara for since 1945, and it's grown and it's grown. And a lot of people that you talk to, they drive by that building all the time. They're like, I never knew what happened in there. And now I see the video, and they now, that generates a local awareness, and that's ideally going to turn into business for us, but also marketing to potential employees. Where it's challenging to find employees who are in the trades. So you want to maybe a local machinist doesn't know what FBT does, and they see that sign, they I wonder if they're hiring. I'll go drop off a resume. And so ideally that's an added bonus of that sign. But LinkedIn, that sign, just regular communication. Our website's a bit up to date, but I know they're looking to refresh it as well. And just kind of having that, really premier appearance online, easy to navigate source for customers as well is important.
Yeah, I think I've always talked about how your brand now precedes you. And the nice thing is with FBT is you've got that brand and that history. I think most of the work is done. So the presence is there, your reputation is there. it's just always staying fresh and using new avenues of communicating with people. And I think that's pretty important. Kyle, how would you know at FBT that your marketing is working? Like, how would you know that?
So I would consider our marketing working, yeah, for getting, additional RFQs from customers, existing customers, new customers. If we're busy, yeah, as you mentioned, as I mentioned, we have these new machines coming into the shop. So we'll post a video of them, getting dropped off, hooked
Yeah.
up on LinkedIn, or even just a picture of the machine. And then if we contact, we'll like to notify a customer of that acquisition. And if they're aware of it, then we consider, that's the marketing is working.
Yeah.
They know we have additional resources. They know maybe we have new capabilities, different ways that we can support them. So those are the ways I would judge success in our marketing.
As we're kind of, listening to this, and I'm thinking, I've got like 80 students, right? And they're young. Like,
okay,
you said something earlier that really impacted me. Is you said, I started by pushing a broom, right? And
yeah,
it's having that willingness and that ability to kind of start, inside an organization and work your way up and build your brand. And that's all about your work ethic. But if you could give advice
okay.
to a kind of a student sitting in the college class, they're in the marketing program, they don't really know what they want to do or where they want to go. Like, what would you say to them? Like, I don't know, how much time do we have? Right?
Yeah,
But what would you say?
There's a couple things. Yeah, you just got to be willing to, obviously to put the work in, but ask questions. Within FBT, I was really fortunate to have there's a lot of senior employees, a lot of longevity amongst the employees. I forget how many people have over 30 years worth of service
A
within the
lot.
business.
Yeah, a lot.
A lot. And I had no experience, so to go up to them and ask a question that might seem really junior or rookie, and they took the time to help me out. And so just being willing to ask those questions, super valuable. And then just learning from what they tell you. You can't just assume that you're smarter than everybody or anybody really. Everybody's got something you can learn. So I definitely ask questions. That's not a new piece of advice to give, but it's something that you do need to do.
Yeah.
I think it's important to read and write daily. So I know you're a big reader.
Yeah.
I like to read as well.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have made mistakes and written books, and so just learn from their mistakes, read their books. But then there's great value in writing. So if you're you're gonna make a call, script out the way the call is gonna go, or that you hope it's gonna go. It'll prepare you for the call. I have my notes here even for this call. I kind of scripted out a couple of things I thought we might chat about. I don't want to show up and kind of just stare at the camera and have nothing to say.
Yeah.
But even as one of your students, when they're going into the professional working world, just think about what they're going to do in the day. Write down if they have to call somebody, write what they need to talk about. Have
Yeah.
these touch. Yeah, so it's important to write, and it just kind of clears your mind. And I think there's good value there. The last thing, it seems that everything moves so fast right now, and it's easy to get pressured into making a decision or a commitment or answer a question. Don't be afraid to just kind of take a moment to think about it. Ask the person, if they want an answer, like, I don't have all the information right now, or I need to think about this. Can I get back to you? And I think you're going to make a better, more informed decision, maybe not an emotional decision. And I think a lot of times when people, I think they'll respect that you want to think about it.
Yeah.
Don't take too long, obviously, but I think that's something that can be tough to do, just taking some time to make a decision.
Yeah.
Just with how fast paced everything is, but do that.
Yeah. And I've always admired how disciplined you are with your day. Like, you're running, like, every time I talk, I'm out running. Where do you find time for that? But you do it. Like, you wake up and you plan out your day, because you have a lot of moving parts in your job, and you're dealing with some pretty intricate stuff. Like a mistake could cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? So
Yeah.
how do you stay so focused during the day?
Um, yeah, so I'll start the day. I'll write down a couple things that I want to accomplish in the day. Try to gear myself towards that. I've been fortunate enough that basically every Wednesday of the week, I typically work from home, and then on that day I'll be, prospecting business
Yeah.
or focusing on, you can't always be prospecting. I might have something pressing, and it's a good chance for me to just focus on a certain task. And so just kind of knowing what I want to get into that day. Don't get sucked into just like replying to emails. It's really easy to do that, and you could spend your whole day replying to emails. And so yeah, just try to be disciplined. And there are emails you have to respond to, so just batch it together. So right after lunch, check your emails, bang off a bunch of replies, and then get into something more important, work your way through it, and then maybe an hour and a half later, 2 hours later, you review your emails again. If something's really urgent, there's a good chance the person's going to call you, or if it's an internal issue, the person might even just kind of hunt you down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's classic advice. Like I'm just, I think about all the speakers we've had, and everybody's got a different perspective about what to do during the day and how to stay focused. And so I'm thinking that this advice almost covers every industry that we work with. So how can people find you, Kyle? Like how can people check you out?
Yeah, so you can find me on LinkedIn, or just my name, Kyle McCumber, on LinkedIn, Facebook, probably even Instagram. I'm not sure what my handle is, but it'll be there. Or you can even email me, Kyle, Kyle, at FBTINC.ca.
Nice.
I'm accessible there. Yeah, I don't mind any of your students reaching out with any questions or anything like that.
Awesome. Well, on behalf of kind of Niagara College, and I got a machine working behind me, so I'm sorry if there's a lot of noise, but I want to thank you for taking your time out of your schedule to
Hey,
do
not a
this.
problem.
And I'm going to talk to you soon. So peace out.
Thanks a lot, Neil. It was good to chat.